That was a game of Magic. Hello, my friends, it's Johnaroth, and today I'm playing with Glissa Sunslayer. Glissa is a 1 colorless, 1 black, 1 green for a 3/3 first strike death touch. So basically, if she blocks a creature, if they don't have first strike and death touch too, she's going to kill them automatically before they can do any damage to her. So she's really good against blocking creatures like Tifa or something that has trample, something like that. Whenever Glissa Sunslayer deals combat damage to a player, you choose one. You draw a card and lose 1 life. This is probably what I use most of the time. You destroy a target enchantment, so really good against enchantment decks. Or you can remove up to 3 counters from target permanent. So you can remove +1/+1 counters, you can remove or even potentially kill off planeswalkers, those types of things. So Glissa's got a lot of value to this card. Around this, I built a deck where it's a lot of really good Golgari, black and green stuff. You have a lot of ramp creatures like Elvish Mystic, Delighted Halfling, Birds of Paradise. We do have a lot of protection spells for Glissa. Snakeskin Veil, Ranger's Guile, Tyvar Stan, etc. And then we also have some planeswalkers designed to help support Glissa, like Grist, Vraska, one of my favorites, Sorin, etc. Finally, I did also throw in a few of the swords to put onto Glissa, which gains protection and some different values. Sword of Forge and Frontier, Sword of Fire Ice, and then Sword of Feast and Famine, which did just come to Arena, which is why I wanted to use it and test out the swords. So let's take Glissa Sunslayer into the queue and see if we can slay some opponents with our value. Let's go. Our very first game is against Sephiroth. Opponent gets to go first. This hand is a little slow, quite honestly. Mulligan, try again. This hand is a little better, not great, but we'll go ahead and try it. I'm going to put down a Verdant Catacombs, and let's go for our Surveil land. Take the Underground Mortuary, Surveil. Arcane Signet's pretty good here. Sephiroth, I made a video about Sephiroth. Sephiroth is a 3/3, and when it enters or attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, draw a card. And whenever another creature dies, opponent loses 1 life, you gain 1 life. If this is the 4th time this ability has resolved this turn, transform Sephiroth. I'm going to go ahead and put down the Ancient Tomb. We're going to go ahead and get out an Arcane Signet. And then let's get out Shovel here. Pretty good blocker. Also, if he does summon Sephiroth, we can kill him and get a token. Or put a counter on Sephiroth and then kill him to get some card draw. Okay, instead our opponent has Lord Skitter. He's going to exile a card from the graveyard. I'm going to go ahead and put a token on Lord Skitter here. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and put down an Overgrown Tomb, and then I'm going to go ahead and cast Mortality Spear on Lord Skitter. We're going to take some more damage, but we're going to get to draw a card out of it, so that's good. Veil of Summer might be pretty relevant here. We'll see. Shovel's kind of an underplayed card. He's a 1/3 death touch for two mana, and at the beginning of your upkeep, if your opponent has no permanents with bounty counters, you put up a bounty counter. Okay, let's see. Our opponent was going to use Shieldred's Edict, but we did have some moves that we could do. I think our opponent realized it and scooped the game, so we didn't even get to cast our commander, but Shovel is a good card to have in a Golgari deck if you have a lot of removal. Just a thought. Good game. Our next game is against Xanathar, Guild Kingpin. This hand is kind of weak, to be honest with you. This hand is a little bit better, but still kind of scary. We do get to go first. I'm going to try this hand, but we're playing against a black and blue deck, so very strong control type element here. I'm going to go ahead first and get out the Underground Mortuary so we can surveil. Phyrexian Arena is pretty good. That'll give some card advantage. Xanathar costs 6. It's a 5/6 at the beginning of your upkeep. Choose target opponent until the end of the turn. The opponent can't cast spells, and you may look at the top card of their library at any point, and you can play cards off their library, basically. So, pretty strong. Let's go ahead and get out our Carotid for more ramp. I'm hoping our opponent will cast something like an Arcane Signet or some sort of ramp card so that we can use the Binding of the Old Gods on it, potentially. Let's see what our opponent does here. Goes for a Chrome Mox. Opponent gets out a Vial of Galadriel. We're going to go ahead and put down a Swamp, and at this point, let's cast Binding the Old Gods. We're going to get rid of his Chrome Mox here. Keeping his mana as low as we possibly can. Okay, our opponent's going to get out a Tireless Angler. Going to search for a forest and put it onto the battlefield tapped. I'll pick an Overgrown Tomb. I'm going to put down a Bloodstained Mire here. Let's get out a Swamp. I'm going to first cast... Is it any mana? Yes. First, let's cast Glissa here. See if we can pull that off. I'm going to cast Dark Ritual. And let's cast Phyrexian Arena. So we can start drawing more cards. Our opponent probably will have a way to kill off Glissa, more than likely. Going to be drafting some cards from the spell book. This is an alchemy card. Basically gets to draft all these additional spells whenever he puts down a swamp or an island. Opponent has a Nadir Kraken. Luckily the arena will get us some more cards here. Okay, let's see what we have. Does he have anything in the graveyard? I'm going to go ahead and first off kill the Angler. Hopefully. Then we're going to swing in with Glissa. Wonder if our opponent will block. Opponent's going to try to kill off Glissa. We're going to use Tamio's Safekeeping to protect it. And I'm going to use Glissa's ability to draw a card. We did draw a land here. I'm going to put down the land and we're going to say Elf. I'm then going to get out Grist because I don't want our opponent to summon stuff with the Kraken. So let's go ahead and get rid of the Carotid and get rid of the Kraken. Now, if our opponent gets out another land, which he does, of course, now he has Xanathar on the battlefield, and basically we have to kill Xanathar this turn. So, of course, we don't draw anything that's going to allow us to do that. Ay, ay, ay. All right, let's swing in with Glissa. Let's draw a card. Okay, we did draw a Fatal Push, but that's really not going to help us here. Let's see. Tireless Angler. Yeah, we just don't have anything great to stop Xanathar right now, unfortunately. He's going to get to look at our top card. Looks like he wasn't able to do anything with it, so that's good. But he does have a ton of mana. Opponent's going to draw some cards. Opponent's going to swing in with Xanathar. We're going to block with our bug. Opponent's going to have a Baleful Strix. Gets to draw another card. I'm going to go ahead and crack this to get another land. Let's get a forest here. All right, let's see what we can do. And of course, we draw nothing but lands now, because why wouldn't we? Let's go ahead and Fatal Push the Baleful Strix, so we can swing in with Glissa. Let's draw another card. Sword of Forge and Frontier. Okay, let's get that onto the battlefield here. Let's make a bug. I'm going to go ahead and reanimate the Baleful Strix, just so we have a Death Touch flyer on our side. We'll get to draw another card. Heroic Intervention, that's really good. Opponent's going to look at the top two cards of our library and choose one of them that he can then cast. We do have the Heroic Intervention up. Opponent's going to try a Siphon Insight again. Probably should have tried to gotten rid of that with the Deathrite Shaman on our turn, but... Alright, let's see what our opponent does here. Opponent is going to cast Drag to the Roots to kill off. I wonder why we couldn't use the Heroic Intervention. That's weird. put down a land here, and then I'm going to put the Sword of Forge and Frontier on the Baleful Strix. We're going to swing in with Glissa and the Baleful Strix, and we are going to have way too much card advantage. That's going to be 6 damage. We'll get to draw more cards. We'll have Shieldred. We have Heroic Intervention to protect us. We're drawing 2 cards a turn. Our opponent is unfortunately just way too far behind in that game. Good game, Xanathar. Playing against Davriel. Very scary commander. I'm going to go ahead and keep this because of the black market. We can get it out turn 3. Let's thin our deck. Davriel is a planeswalker. We're basically... Yeah, we definitely want a swamp. You can basically accept offers that he gives, and I'm going to go ahead and put down a forest, put down Arcane Signet. You can get all kinds of crazy offers. Some of them are very scary. I'm hoping he puts out a mana rock so I can cast Vraska and destroy it, but we'll see. If not, we'll probably go for the black market connections. You can get all kinds of crazy offers with Davriel, like draw a card, gain 3 life, draw 3 cards. There's usually a negative, but usually the negatives are pretty negligible, quite honestly. They're not that big of a deal. Opponent did not have a land, so that's really good for us. Let's cast black market connections. He may have been keeping his mana up to kill off Glissa. I don't know. Opponent's going to have a Celestus. We're going to go for all the modes because why wouldn't we? I'm going to cast Vraska so we can destroy his Celestus here. Keep his mana to a minimum. Then let's put down an Underground Mortuary. Infernal Grasp is going to be no good for us against Davriel, and then we'll pass the turn. We're going to have to be very aggressive here. I'm hoping our opponent did not draw land, because we don't want Davriel getting on the battlefield. Us destroying his Celestus was huge, because if he doesn't have a land, he can't cast Davriel here, where he would have been able to without Vraska. Opponent keeps eyeing our command. Oh, he has the land, so that's unfortunate. Let's see what our opponent does here. Gonna, of course, go for one of his offers. Let's see what he gets. So his spells are going to be 1 cheaper. And our creatures get pumped up. Okay. Let's dial it back on the black markets a little bit. I just want to keep drawing cards. Let's go ahead and get out Glissa here. Then I'm going to put down a... It honestly doesn't really matter. Gemstone Cavern. Let's... If we sacrifice a permanent, we can draw a card. First, let's swing in with the token to kill off Davriel. Limit that. Do we want to just sacrifice something to draw another card? I guess we can sacrifice the treasure. We drew a Delighted Halfling. I'm not going to put down the... Well, I could have. Let's hold off. I do have protection for Glissa, which is important. I do want to keep Vraska ticking up, so in case he gets out more mana rocks, we can destroy it with Vraska. We are going to be able to do 7 damage to our opponent here, which is a lot. Opponent is eyeing Vraska again. Vraska is great for getting rid of mana rocks or other creatures that are scary in nature. Opponent's eyeing Glissa as well. I'm hoping he tries to pick on Glissa, because if he does, we do have a Ranger's Guile up, whereas we can't really protect Vraska all that much. here we go.
Sounds so nefarious.
Davril's gonna get another deal. Spells get cheaper again. Kind of ridiculous. Opponent's going for a Wishclaw Talisman here. It's our turn. Let's create a treasure, draw a card. I'm going to put down a Cavern of Souls. We'll just say elf. We can use Vraska to destroy the Wishclaw, which might be a good move for us. I think we're probably going to have to do that. I don't really want to, but I don't want him using the Wishclaw.
I'll carve it out of existence.
Let's go ahead and get out Liliana. We're going to make our opponent discard a card here. I'm going to drop the Halfling.
You won't be outsmarting me.
Attack our opponent's hand over and over again. Let's swing in with Glissa and let's hit Davriel with the token. Our opponent's going to try to kill off something here. We're not going to let him do that. I'm going to go ahead and protect our token so that we can kill off Davriel. It does still weaken the token, but we're okay here. We're still able to kill Davriel. We do have enough mana to get out Shieldred, but I'm going to hold off. Hexproof. Unfortunately, that's not going to save us here, so we're going to have to let that happen. Did our opponent get a land? He did. Okay. Underworld Dreams. Whenever an opponent draws a card. Ugh. And our opponent has a Shieldred. We're going to use our treasure right now to use Fatal Push on Shieldred. Draw a card. Let's create a treasure here. I'm going to put down a Overgrown Tomb, and let's get out our Shieldred. And I'm going to make us both discard a card here. We'll get rid of the Urborg. We do have some protection here, so that's good. That's unfortunate. He has a spell that can sacrifice. Our opponent seems to get like all these really lucky plays here. It's interesting. What can we bring back? Destroy. Return up to 2 creature cards. Opponent is going to get out Davriel.
Oh, trust me, you won't refuse my offer.
Draw another card here. Okay, Casualties of War is pretty good here, actually. Let's go ahead and cast Casualties of War. We're going to destroy an enchantment, a planeswalker, and an art or a land. So let's destroy the Underworld Dreams. Let's destroy the Hive Tyrant, and let's destroy Davriel here.
I knew dueling was a waste.
Then I'm going to go ahead and get out the Unstoppable Slasher. We're getting low on life, so we really need to focus on coming up with a solution here. I'm going to have to drop the... This is tough. I'm going to drop the Veil of Summer. Gix's command can get back a couple creatures. I'm hoping he drew... Okay, so he drew a land. So let's put down a treasure. Let's go ahead and get out Sorin here. We're going to create a vampire. We're going to use Liliana's ultimate ability here.
You can deal with my servant. I'm busy.
Let's say I don't really care about that. 1, 2, 3. Our opponent's going to have to choose what he's going to win or what he's going to take. We're very low in life, but I think we have a chance at winning this. As long as our opponent doesn't draw something ridiculous. Our opponent's down to 3 lands, so that's good. We're going to cut off half of his life with the Unstoppable Slasher. And I am going to just be aggressive here and go for Glissa. I really need to close this game out this turn. Do we have enough mana to cast Shieldred if we get a treasure token and Gix's command? We do. Opponent's eyeing all of our stuff here. This was a very close game. Here we go. So we're going to create a treasure here. I'm going to go ahead and cast Gix's command. We're going to put some +1/+1 counters, and we're going to return 2 creatures. We're going to go for Shieldred. We're going to put the +1/+1 counters on the vampire tokens and get back Shieldred and the halfling. Opponent's going to take some damage here. I'm just going to destroy the enchantment because I think we have this game. Opponent's down to 1. Let's go ahead and get out Shieldred. Let's draw. Yeah, and we have him. He's not going to gain any life. He's down to 3 lands. That was a game of Magic. Thank you, my friends, for watching another one of my videos. This one featuring Glissa Sunslayer. I love a good commander that gets you card draw. One of my favorite commanders of all time is Gix, and Glissa brings a lot of value to the table. You could go all in on a Voltron type build where you just build her up with 8,000 things, and that's the whole point of the deck. It's just protection and build, build, build. But I find that strategy, when you employ that on a deck like this, you don't win as much because of the fact that you're basically have a glass cannon commander where if she dies, then you're in serious trouble. So I did balance that out quite a bit. And in a balanced mode, I would put Glissa at probably a low B to high C tier as far as power level goes. The deck list is in the description below. Please don't forget to like, Please don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to leave a comment down below talking about Glissa or another commander you'd like me to look into, or what your thoughts are on the Spider-Man set. I don't really care as long as I talk to you, part of the Magic community. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.